Hello there. Welcome back. I've been taking a little bit of a hiatus, but we are back right now. I've been living my life and experiencing a lot of growth and change, and I hope the same for you. Let's see what the cards have in store for you today, okay? Let's clean these up a little. Oh. I am taking reversals today. That certainly looks like a reversal, huh? Any more? Okay. One more. It's funny. Okay. And now I'm also going to ask for some angel answers cards. Oh. Let's do some more. What else we got? And you know what? I'll take them. So we're gonna have that as now. I am kind of figuring out my little station, so hopefully everything is in view for you. And this works. Okay, so the overall message to start, we have reconsider. I'm getting all of this blue here, and it's kind of giving me like Archangel Michael vibes here. It's like Archangel Michael and the throat chakra. So stuff to do with speaking, reconsidering your choices, speaking out for your choices, for your newly revamped choices. You know, I had an experience today where I didn't end up getting a drink that I had ordered, and you know, in the past what I would have done is maybe just stayed a little silent about it. But, you know, I didn't actually need the drink, and so I ended up just not having it. But at the very end of the bill, when I went to go pay, I told them I didn't get this drink, could you take it off? You know, and that seems kind of small, maybe. But for me, that was kind of a big step, actually. I, in the past, would have just let it happen. And so it is growth for me. I'm sorry, I don't know if you heard that. There are geckos here, and I have almost developed a little bit of a fear. Not quite, but I was afraid that there was a gecko in my room. Anyways, that's something else that I'm working on and vocalizing. That's kind of growth for me. Anyways, let's get into your reading. I don't know if any of those things mean anything to you, but we have the Justice card, followed by the Ten of Cups, and then the message, yes, here. So whatever this thing, maybe that you've been reconsidering or pondering, if it has to do with some kind of legal situation, if it has to do with how you think about your perspective on things. What I see here is that there's more balance that's going to be brought to the situation. And with the sword here, it's there's kind of some parallels here. The sword here, this is like the sword of truth to me. So any kind of illusions, any lies, the truth is coming out. And with this, we have some of the happiest times coming for you. Total emotional fulfillment. Do you see how all of the cups are here? It goes 1 through 10 in these court cards, and so they are all full here. And so what I see is that you're gonna feel good about what's to come next. And we have the message, yes. So yes, things are going to be looking up, things are going to be looking bright, and you're going to be ready for these changes. It's going to feel like the time is right, justice is being served, and the scales are being balanced. The next cards we have are the 8 of Pentacles, followed by the Page of Swords in reverse. And then improving health. So what I see here is you've been putting in work in regards to your mental health. You know, in the past, maybe you let your thoughts steer you away from peace. But you realize that that's not quite right. What you need is more peace. And so you've been doing work, putting in the work day in and day out towards building that peace again. Whether it's through meditation, whether it's through yoga practices, whether it's through deep breathing, whatever it may look like to you. Long walks, swimming, reading, spending less time consuming. It could be anything. But whatever that may be, I see that you've been putting in the work to stop your mind from telling you lies, honestly. Because your mind, if you can control your mind, you can control so much. So I've been in yoga teacher training, and you know, one of the principles they tell you, yoga is not just about the postures. It is actually about calming the mind. According to Patanjali, and this is a whole other situation, but you can do some deep diving yourself if you're interested. But yoga is, the meaning behind it, it's the cessation of the modifications of the mind. What the hell does that mean? It means we stop the mind, because the mind can think about all these different things and it can pull you in so many different directions, but ultimately what we want is peace. And to find peace, you still the mind, you calm the mind. And this helps you improve your health. Look here how there's like this light coming from the top. So there's more guidance here, more wisdom that you have learned and gained from your time and your experiences. It starts with the mind. See how the rainbow is circled around the head? And that just, it flows through everywhere else. When you can control your mind, control the cessations and the modifications of the mind, you can bring more peace to your life. Now, what I see next, we have the Hanged One and the Lovers. Now, with the Hanged One in reverse, this is and these two cards, I'm just gonna put these together because I'm afraid of the images. But here, what I see, it's the message here being, it's up to you. And let's just, first of all, like, all of their third eye and crowns are lit up. So a lot of it comes from your head and your decision making. Here, normally, do you see this? How the Hanged One, they kind of find consciousness, or they find the true answers, this moment of enlightenment, not in a normal situation. Things are kind of flipped upside down. So it's like we have to choose to see a different perspective. Now, with this, it's, you know what this is giving me? It's like now, we have chosen to see things in a different perspective, and now with the Hanged One, like, flipped back up here, it's like, all right, now when we return to normal everyday life, return to whatever the situations, our partnerships, our friendships, these places that you may be up in, it's up to you and your wisdom and your knowledge to choose how you want to move forward. Do you regress? Or do you spend all this time and effort and improve your situation, your beliefs? It's up to you and your choices, how you choose to move forward in this life, and what you do with the time that you are given. I see that with the Hermit, the Five of Wands, and communicate clearly, that there has been a lot of time spent on your own, ruminating, discovering, seeking that wisdom. And it's like things have kind of been turned around. And it's like, when you go back to normal, it's like, how do you, what is normal to you? Do you even return? It's like maybe you're physically in a different place, and say you go back. For example, I was in New York City, and now I am in Bali. And I don't know if I'm gonna go back to New York yet. I love it, but there's also a lot that has changed in me. I found more peace, and that city doesn't have a lot of peace. There's a lot of energy, and it can be great in so many aspects, but also it can be so chaotic. And so, if I can relate to this for a moment, it's like, how do I take all of the wisdom and the peace that I've gained here and bring it back so that I don't lose it? Because that's the thing. I see so many people go on these experiences and trips, and it's life-changing. But then they can return back to their normal places, and it's almost like over time you forget and what happened. I'm not saying that happens for everyone, but I feel like that's maybe just a fear that I have, and so maybe it's something I have to get over, and I still haven't quite figured out yet. But if you can relate to that, it's kind of like there's a fight, but it's like internal, with yourself, with your environment, in your situation. It's interesting, we have the message communicate clearly here. So it's like, you know, I have this fear that not everybody's going to be able to understand, and I'm not going to be able to communicate the lessons, the changes, the differences. And so it's like, how do I balance the two? I don't necessarily have an answer right now, but I think I'm just reading the situation and scenario. Maybe this is for myself. But I think one thing that can help you, me, whatever the situation may be for you, is to try to communicate. Try to put words to what you're feeling, how you're feeling, if you're feeling any type of way, and use that to try to connect with others, to try to bring some of your wisdom to others, to help. Maybe building the curiosity for somebody else, not doing all of the work for everybody else, because everybody must go on this journey for themselves, this internal journey, this truth seeking. It's not for you to do for everybody, it's for people to do for themselves. but you can inspire others. Don't lose all of that hard work. Don't lose your peace, your happiness. And then we have the Two of Wands, the Ace of Cups, both in reverse, and compromised. You know how I'm taking reversals today. I've started recently. It just felt like kind of time. Trusting my intuition here. And so here it's also kind of like the message, it's like it's trusting your intuition, deciding whether the time is right, when the time is right. Here, with the card reverse, it does give the sense that perhaps the time is not right yet. And you know, it's kind of interesting. This is super niche, but sometimes in college, not sometimes, but yes, in college, I did the thing where you put your key on like a hair tie, and it's like a wristband. And for a moment, that's what this looked like to me. Can you tell? This little thing. It's like the keys on our wrist. But it's up to you to decide when the time is right to unlock those doors, to step back in to the journey, to choose. And it's going to be one where you trust your intuition on this. It's not going to be like quite explainable to others, but you just have a feeling. Trust your heart, trust that intuition, trust the feeling that you get. But only when the time is right. And it seems like it may not quite be time yet. And with the compromise card here, what this is giving is you have to find some balance between taking action and feeling through the action. So what I mean by this is you may want to take some action. You may know that that may be right, but it doesn't quite feel right to you. And so you maybe plan a little bit more. You do a few other things that make you feel like you're still taking some action. And perhaps that brings you closer towards feeling totally ready. There has to be compromise between you. That fiery aspect, that passionate aspect that wants to take action, and the watery aspect that wants to just flow and is in no rush and knows that timing, the universe's timing, is always right. So here again with the reconsider message, I see that you have to reconsider. You have to go through a phase, a period, where you're thinking through a lot, you're working on speaking and communicating clearly. But now that, let's look at the two scales here at the very beginning and the very end, that everything will come in its own time. It will be balanced. The truth will come out. You'll feel emotionally fulfilled. And yes, things are going to feel good at the right time. Putting in that work towards calming the mind, towards bringing you more inner peace, thereby improving your health, strengthening your intuition, that third eye, that crown chakra, gaining wisdom from higher realms, higher consciousness, and integrating that into your daily life. You decide, you choose how you want to do that. It's like there must be a balance, of course, between the external world that we live in, the environment, and also your internal world. But you can do it. Here, communicate clearly to others how these experiences and these changes that you've been through solo, on your own, the hermit, to seek the truth, to seek the clarity. It may not be something that everybody can understand, and it'll feel like a battle sometimes. Even if it's between some of your really close friends, they won't understand because they haven't gone through this journey yet. And so the best that you can do is try to communicate clearly. You know, I'm looking at the dolphins here. And dolphins, I believe they use like radar. It's kind of like bats, right? What is it? Is it echolocation? I don't know if that's completely true, but I think they use some kind of like radar or sonar, and that's how they can see. And that's one aspect of how they can communicate with their surroundings, with their environment. So you may not be on the same wavelengths as some people in your environment, but you can navigate it through communicating clearly. Maybe it's simply by saying, I don't know how to express this, but this is what happened and this is how I feel. And that can help in some aspect, in some way. And remember to compromise, to give yourself some grace as you are balancing taking action and flowing with the universe. There is balance in everything, and ultimately trust your intuition. I think with all of these, boom, 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 there's the light from this higher power, this higher realm. So it's up to you.